What's poppin' world? Back at it again with another video. I know I've been gone for a long time, but I have returned. I am back. Y'all read the title? Let's get right into it. How to deal with indifference during the courting, dating phase. You know, when you're getting to know somebody, when you're vetting them out, and the communication is still going through its ebbs and flows, because y'all. And this may not be every interaction, but some interactions where things don't align up instantaneously. There's an instantaneous chemistry or a connection there, right? So, this is how to handle this situation as a whole, right? So, you first getting to know somebody, you like her, she likes you. There's obviously indicators making both parties aware that there's a certain interest level and that it could exceed outside of that moment into something bigger. You feel me? So y'all exchange contacts, y'all exchange information, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Then y'all either texting, or maybe I ain't got to the point to where y'all actually got a phone call yet, right? And this is where even me personally, I struggle at texting because my attention span when it comes down to that form of communication isn't fluid, you feel me? So I'm not a person that's gonna text you right back. So I even struggle with this. But if you are a person that texts well, and you're able to communicate and articulate yourself through text messages, stuff, so on and so forth, right? And the other person that showed initial interest is dry texting you and one word texting you back. This is the things to combat that, because I hate to say this, but certain females want to test your armor, want to test your poise, want to test your character, want to see what your metal made out of, right? So by doing this, they start to gradually pull back. You feel me? They start to throw a little curveball and mess up the flow to see if you're a person either going to stay on the boat or you're going to get rocked off the boat. And what I mean by that is when you texting, 2, 3, 4 hours go by. Maybe the whole day go by, no text back. But yet you gave this person your number, or she gave you your number, so on and so forth, right? What ends up messing us up, now there's only a couple of times where this is necessary. But by and large, double texting is where we mess up the most, right? Because when you send the text and then you undermine yourself sending another text, what that indicates is you're willing to, how can I say, you're willing to subject your position and your stance and your form of communication and try to switch the topic to appease whatever she feels like deem is qualified for a response back. Now, the reason why I said there's only a couple of exceptions where you do double text is if you read back the text, you'd be like, all right, this really offbeat. I gotta, you really said something that's really gonna be like, I don't know what to say to that. You feel me? But if it's like a complete thought, it's a thought out question, and you sent it, and you don't get no text back, even if 1 day, 2 days, 3 days after the fact, she wants to reconnect, or she sits up there and she doesn't even have an explanation. She just keeps going on as if she didn't text you back or left you on red, right? Keep it player. Don't sit up there and, oh, well, I want to check you or address you about, not getting back to me, and now it's the following day. Now, I will say that kind of behavior is untrustworthy. So you just put this person in a different category as far as not taking them as serious as you would like them to be, until you understand either she playing hard to get, she was interested, but another player into the game. In so many different variables, you don't have enough information to hold a position on it, right? So that's why I say just lay back, keep it player. You know, don't lose your poise or lose your cool just because certain females want to be indifferent. And I'll say this is my philosophy, right? When guys are being like, damn, you know, I wish women were more, you know, straightforward. Let's call it what it is. The harder ones to get are the harder ones to lose. The easier ones to get are the easier ones to lose. Why do I say this, man? I'm gonna keep it a bear with y'all. It's a defense mechanism. How women vet guys, you feel me? And this may be some form of reverse psychology, but your mindset, as far as how you interact and deal with situations, is an indicator of showing a level of strength and, you know, leadership and stuff like that, right? So you have to, okay, there's no way for her to prove who you are outside of the way you look, right? So then she's gonna have to run a couple of tests to try to test your mettle. If you get past that impressively, right? Because she could be playing games. She could be talking to somebody. She could not be talking to nobody. You don't mess your mental up by trying to discover that. You only worry about what you can control, and you deal with a person long enough, the truth will reveal itself. You feel me? If you're being a person that you need to be in that situation. So you don't gotta go looking for it. Indifference isn't always a bad thing. That's what I'm basically saying. Especially if you talk to a kind of girl you never talked to before. There's gonna be, and what I mean by that is like, rather you beauty, different race, something out of the norm for you. Yes, it possibly might be some rigid disconnections here and there just because you're dealing with a different kind of space, right? But by and large, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all, man. You gotta embrace the challenge. Indifference isn't a bad thing. It's not. But I'll leave it at this because I don't want y'all thinking like, oh yeah, she curved me, so that's a good thing. No, you have to understand the difference in between being indifferent and uninterested. If somebody's uninterested, they're not gonna give you anything or very, very little to work with. You call, they don't answer. You text, they either text you back or don't text you. And if they do text you back, indifference and uninterested can look like the same thing in certain situations. It's your job to have the database and, you know, the scientific method to test out your theory to see if it's either fact or fiction based off of what you think can come out of the situation between you and that individual. The only way you're going to be able to figure that out is you got to play it out. You got to play itself out. There's no way, there's no indicator except subtle little things outside of, you know, just interaction as a whole that you will be able to determine where somebody's really standing at with you, because that could be a revolving door where they feel like this one day, they feel like this the next day. And it could be all of the above. So I'm just leave it at that. Comment, like, subscribe. I'm gonna probably do a part 2 to this. Thanks for watching. I'm gone.